This is what it's like every morning after taking the dogs out. After mopping, it is like an episode of Blue's Clues around here, following all the little doggy prints all the way down the hallway so that I can have to mop all over again. Arr! Alright, and back again to add on what I forgot. There are lists that you can look up online of things that are no-nos for dogs as far as food. A couple of them that I can think of right off topic and top of my head. Chocolate. When you look at dog treats that say chocolate flavored, usually they are carob flavored, not real chocolate. Another thing, grapes. Found this out. Romeo likes grapes. If you've seen the other video, I'm going to look up a couple things. Anyway, I'm looking at, there's lists online. You can look them up yourself and find different things. Garlic is listed on there, and I'm believing they mean fresh garlic. I'm not sure why they say garlic, but it is located in almost every dog food as a flavoring, as well as most dog treats. Gotta get on these nails. Today's gonna be pedicure day. It's a whole nother video, y'all. Anyway, some foods are dangerous that you shouldn't give to your dogs. So chocolate is one that's said a lot. Candies, gums, you know, don't give them silly stuff like that because you think it's funny. Don't give your dogs any medication that's for people. There are a couple you can use. I'm not going to state them here. Ask your vet. Things like avocados, peach pits, onions, coffees, teas. Come on, I mean, those are simple, normal things, people. Grapes and raisins. A raisin is a grape, people. Apparently those can cause kidney damage. Romeo is obsessed with grapes. If you watch the video that I put up around, I think it was when I was doing the hair coloring, there's a clip in there. Oh, let me see. No, I added it to a different one. I don't know. I think it's after we went to the mall, the video of the mall. You'll see Romeo begging Mom for grapes. Got a big head just hovering over her plate. Basically, I believe a friend of mine said as much as 1 grape per pound of dog weight can cause kidney failure. So skip the grapes. We have weaned Romeo off. It's just Mom keeps sneaking them to him. Milk, people milk, dairy stuff, don't throw it in the bowl. It just gives them stomach upset. You're going to have diarrhea all over the place. And one thing that I will throw in there, there's many other things on the list. Please do a search online for just simple Google search for do not feed dogs these things or do not feed dogs, and it'll give you a long list of things. Some things it's just because they put it on the list. It's not that they're toxic to them in small amounts, and they're little savory things, like say a grape. Yes, he can have 1 grape or 2, 3 grapes because he's a big dog. Don't feed your Chihuahua 3 grapes. There's a big difference, people. We're talking about size of the dog. And again, it's moderation. If you're doing it as a special treat, I recommend to associate it with whatever action it is you want them to do. Say if you have a dog that won't come to you from the yard, like Romeo. He loves grapes. If I went to the gate with the grape and put it there where he can see it in my hand like dog people, that's how we get the dogs to stand nice and still in the show. We have food in our hand. Or they see us with the pocket because the food's in the pocket, and that's why they're all at attention. That's how it works, people. Come to the gate with your dog's favorite little treat or, you know, doggy park to teach them to come to you when you call their name. They will learn when I come back, I get a treat. But the thing is, grab that collar. If you give them the treat and let them run off, they didn't learn shit. Okay? So anything that you have an issue with, almost all dogs are food motivated. Toy motivated for a lot of them, but when they're tired of playing with the toy, they're not going to do what you want them to do. So those kind of special treats, not chocolate, not these things that are on the list as no-nos. Don't do it, people. Anyway, look it up yourself. There's lots of things, and you should always be educated and aware. So I will put a small list of them at the end of this video. And I'm also going to show a picture of a croton plant, C-R-O-T-O-N. It is a very, very common house/yard plant. Here in Florida, they're in all kinds of yards everywhere, and you can see them everywhere, Walmart's, Garden Center, Home Depot, Lowe's, everywhere. I love them. They're bright, colorful plants. They give you a little pop in your garden area. However, didn't know they were poisonous to dogs until years ago. My show dog Mojo, who was an American Staffordshire Terrier, literally pulled a leaf from the ground, a little baby leaf of a croton. I didn't even own a croton. It was there from the previous owner. It grew out of a crack in the porch. He grabbed it, put it in his mouth. I immediately told him drop it, because he was trained for that command for showing. He dropped it, and off he went. I threw the leaf away. About 4 to 5 hours later, Mojo was leaning against the fence, drunk as could be, teetering forward, falling backwards, totally unstable. I called him, and he was in a daze, and he literally just fell over in the yard. Now, this is a dog who could run into a 55-gallon barrel, metal, full speed, head first, hit the ground and shake it off and keep running, happy as he could be. I knew something was wrong. I thought somebody poisoned him, but actually it was us who poisoned him, because we had a poisonous plant in the yard and didn't realize it, and he just was being playful and pulled it out, just playing with it. He wasn't trying to eat it, actually. Well, just the oil from that little biting of it released into his mouth was enough to cause him kidney problems. He had blood in his urine. He had to stay at the vet's overnight. They gave him lots of IV fluids. The vet said immediately it was the croton plant as soon as I recapped the day of what had gone on. And they knew how to treat it. And basically, he was lucky, because had it been a lot that he was exposed to, it could have killed him. He could have had seizures. He would have died. So croton plants are a no-no on the JCT future landscaping plans at any house. Have been for many years, ever since that incident. So he recovered. He was lucky, but it was a very minimal exposure. So croton plants, I will also include a picture of those on here. So for those of you who don't know what they look like, you'll see what they look like, and you might go, oh crap, I have one of those, because you may just not know what it is. It comes sometimes mixed in those little nice little baskets you see in the garden center that have mixed little plants in them that are colorful, and you just get it to sit on your kitchen table or your window or wherever you have it around your house on your patio. So anyway, inform yourself, people. Those are the last two things I wanted to add. The do not feed list, and basically last words, please, 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 even if you're looking for pure breed dogs, and I am a breeder and a shower. I'm not breeding right now, but I do believe in showing, and I do get involved with breeding. Doing it the right way. I mean, you spend the money, and you make sure you have good quality dogs, high quality dogs that are being bred to high quality dogs that don't have health problems, and you're taking care of your puppies, and our dogs are inside. So that's the way we do it. Nothing wrong with having an outdoor kennel set up. We'll do that at the next house, an indoor-outdoor thing like the shelters have, mainly for when we have female dogs or another dog over that's not our own dog, and we're doing breeding because it does get messy, or if they have puppies and big litters because it gets messy. So that'll be another setup in the future. But do it the right way. If you're going to breed, be responsible, and make sure that every single puppy goes to a great home. There's far too many of these dogs, purebred, even gorgeous ones that people pay thousands and thousands of dollars for, that they will get bored with it about 6 months later when the cute factor wore off and now it's grown up and it looks more like an adult, and they take it and dump it off at the shelter. If they're lucky, a breed rescue will peruse through the aisles if they have room, and their volunteers will let them know, and they will get that dog to a pure breed rescue. So online, just do a search for your area. You can find a rescue for every pure breed, no matter how obscure, I assure you. Please, 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 go to the animal shelters. Tons of pure breed dogs, people. Purebred. Nothing wrong with them. You know why they're there? Because their owners were jackasses who didn't think about what they got into when they got their pets. It's not that way for everyone, because sometimes people have hardships and they just have to give their pets up. That's a different story. But for the people who buy them at a pet store, where you shouldn't be buying them anyway because they're overpriced and you don't know the background and the history of the health, no matter how cute they look, and now you just paid $1,800 for a dog that you could have got at a rescue that would have been already fixed, that you don't have to pay to get them fixed, that you don't have to pay for them to be microchipped, and that they already know the temperament and they know the background and the history of the dog. You don't know any of that buying it at a pet store. You don't know any of that buying it from a backyard breeder. If you're going to buy it from a backyard breeder, please make sure that you see the facility, the conditions, everything. That you can see that they are caring for these dogs. And by backyard breeder, I'm not saying the shiesty ones. That's not what don't ever buy from them. I'm talking about people who have outdoor breeds, like hunting dogs. They tend to be outdoor dogs. Guard dogs, some of your watch dogs, they tend to be outdoor dogs that patrol. They may have a setup outdoors that has shelter, that has covered food, that is clean bowls, that the dogs are not on these big nasty chains that these stupid dog fighting people do. It's just dumbass. I mean, if you're that damn dense that you got nothing better to do with all this technology nowadays than to watch two dogs freaking mutilate themselves to try to please your sorry ass, you need a life. And that's not a life. So anyway, getting off that soapbox, there are breeds that are bred outside. The puppies are outside, but they have a setup, people. They have built proper pens and up off the ground so they're not cold, they're not wet, they have adequate bedding, they have shelter from any kind of snow, rain, any of that. I'm not saying you can't buy from a breeder who has their dogs outside. A backyard breeder, meaning backyard breeder, means somebody that's just letting their dogs breed. They don't care what happens. They get dead puppies, they throw them to the side. They don't care. Their dogs are skinny. They got fleas. Flies are flying around. The bowls are dirty. Okay, that's wrong. Big chains, heavy chains. Your dog never needs to be on it. Do you see this dog I have? He can easily, people, pull 500 to 600 pounds. Like that. If he sees something and it's go time, he can pull it. Just like sled dogs pull, he can pull it. Alright? The thing is, he'll never need to be on a fucking car tow chain. That's just stupid. That's people who are trying to make their dog look tough. And guess why? Because you're not fucking tough. That's why you got to try to make your dog look tough. Because you're sorry. Get your ass in the gym. Anyway. I have no patience for that. But if you want a pure breed dog, people, even if you don't, mixed breeds. You can get your little, let's see, schnoodles, schnauzer poodle, your cockapoo, you know, you got your poodle and your cocker spaniel mixes. You can get those at the shelters. Just please take a perusing through the shelter. Save a dog's life, because they're getting put down by the thousands and thousands and thousands every single day just because nobody came through. So while you're at the pet store oohing and ahhing over some little 4-month-old that doesn't have papers, that you don't know where it came from, because pet stores buy them from backyard breeders a lot of times, people. Not saying they all do, but many do. Most do. And, you know, you don't know the background. Go to a rescue, they're going to tell you where the dog came from, what the situation was, and they're going to tell you any quirks, any flaws that they've noticed, if it gets along with other dogs, with kids, with cats. Why would you not? It's like going to buy a car. You're not just going to show up at, you know, JoJo's car lot and he's just like, it runs. And every time you ask them a question, it runs, and that's it. Because that's what you're getting when you go somewhere like a pet store and they don't know the background of the parents. Has the mother mauled 5 children? Is she aggressive and dad is aggressive because he's a fighting dog? You know, you don't know these things, and the puppies, you know, that stuff does get bred into them. You can breed in more aggression and those type of things. So do your homework, people. Go to your shelter, peruse through. Even if you're not going to get anything, just walk through. Try to get your mind open. See some other breeds. Sometimes you see a breed and you go, oh, I love those dogs, because you love the way they look. There's a lot of dogs, I can tell you from showing, I've seen hundreds of breeds. Lots of dogs, I love the look of them. Beautiful dogs, gorgeous dogs, tough dogs, muscular dogs. Guess what? I could not live with them. Because they are terrors in one way or another to me. Not to everyone. Just certain things I don't do. I don't do wet dogs running all through my house and getting on my furniture. It's never going to happen. 1, I got allergies. 2, I hate the wet dog smell and everything. And I don't want to clean up a mucky floor all day. You see, we're already doing it with the rain today. So, no, Labradors, I love you. #1 breed most of the time, but I can't. You guys like water too much. You jump in puddles everywhere you go. I have a 6-year-old little boy. He does it too, but he's easier to clean and he doesn't smell like a dog when he's wet. So, anyway, people, check out your local breed rescues for your pure breeds and the shelters before you go anywhere near a pet store. They're being well cared for and fed, but they're stuck in cages all day there. Don't fall for the pity factor. The prices are not right, and neither is the background checking. So I will say this. Here's my order of looking for pets. Pets, not show quality, that's a whole nother thing. Pets. Breed rescue, if I'm looking for a pure breed. Okay, and animal shelter. I will hit both of those at the same time. Why? Because dogs come in constantly, daily, weekly. You may not see a Rottweiler there that day that you went, and it might be there tomorrow at 3 p.m. Gotta keep checking. So I will hit both of those regularly. The rescues, usually you can get on their waiting list and they will call you as soon as they get something that fits what you're looking for. If you say you have another dog, they're not going to give you a dog that's not good with other dogs. You see what I mean? That they do the research. Shelters will give you whatever the owner told you as the background. Yeah, they get along with other dogs. Well, really, they might be dropping that dog off because it just killed their other 2 dogs. You see what I'm saying? Shelter doesn't know. So rescue is going to have the most background on a dog when you're getting one. And it's going to be fixed, usually microchipped, and your price is much, 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 much lower than a breeder, pet store, and or a shelter usually. Unless shelters have specials sometimes. Sometimes they're overrun with stuff and they just have shelters. $100, you know, weekend or whatever, each dog. $50, you know, whatever. For mixed breeds. Check it out, people. Just pay attention. So that's the end of the pet video. I'm rambling. His video has gotten a lot longer than I wanted it to get. The boys, they're napping. Look at the nursery. They all have little blankets in their Army Navy supply. Bedding. That's another quick thing. Dog bedding. Crates are hard. Tile is hard. I don't pay for big money for dog beds. Typically I will go to the Goodwill, buy a king size comforter. They'll usually hang it in the back in the bedding section. Find one that has a pattern that you don't mind sitting on your floor or in their cage. It doesn't have to be pretty. You can get pretty ones, but I'll tell you this, I go for the ugly ones. Why? 1, a dog is laying on it, he doesn't care. 2, get a fabric that can be washed in a washing machine. Keep it easy for yourself. Buy king size? Why? My dog's not that big. Well, 1, if you have a medium to large dog, you can fold it up into 4 and have a super cushy, thick thing they lay on tile or in their cage. I don't do that. I will buy a nice fluffy comforter, king size, and cut it into 4 pieces because that's what fits in these ginormous crates here. And little bitty is actually laying on a baby blanket. That is a comforter for a crib. It fits perfectly. We fold it in half. It goes in there and he just does his thing and nestles in it. The big boys here tend to push theirs out of the way. Those right now are 2 Army Navy blankets, surplus blankets. Those stores are around. Check them out. Super cheap. Woolly kind of blankets. So if they want something soft, I flatten them out every day and they commence to ball them up because it's hot here in Florida. They don't want it. Now on the chillier times, I think it's going to get cold tonight in the 30s. Florida, 30s, y'all. Then I'll flatten them out and they usually leave them down. But an old man River there, and Boxer, he's got bad hips. So I try to keep padding underneath there for him too. They're not in the crate for long periods at a time. They just ate, which is why they're in there now. And then we will move them now that they've been toweled off and feet cleaned when they wake up from these little naps here. Much like babies, we'll take them to the play area. They'll go back to that room back there and we'll put the baby gate in the doorway and they can just run around freely and play with toys or do whatever it is they want to do. Fart, lick their butt, sniff each other, I don't know. Dogs, you know. So anyway, check out your local rescue, shelters. Last resort, people, pet stores. You're going to pay more. You're not going to get adequate background. And they're probably not going to have papers. And if they do have papers, they're not going to be AKC. They're going to be junky papers. There are junky registries. Do your homework. Do your research. You don't need papers unless you're showing. You don't need papers unless you are breeding responsibly. And those should be good registries. Just to say you have papers and they're junky XYZ Kennel Club, that's junk. Okay? Right off the top of my head, ADBA, American Dog Breeders Association, UKC, United Kennel Club, AKC, American Kennel Club, CKC, Continental Kennel Club. Those are some of your biggest ones. There's a lot more that have been invented in the years since I have been showing. Check them out. You don't need papers for a pure breed dog. Get yourself a book, a dog encyclopedia. I have several at the other house. So whenever I get into showing, I want to make sure that I want another breed. Usually I switch to something different, but it's got to be something we can live with. You don't want dogs in your house that you can't live with, people. Trust me. Got to get something. If you're going to have kids later, get a breed that's good with kids so you're not having to ditch your dog later. If you're going to have other dogs later, get a breed that's going to accept another dog coming into their territory later, okay? Plan ahead, people. If you can't do something that has a lot of grooming like me because of my allergies, I don't do long-haired dogs. I did a long-haired Chihuahua because the hair is silky. I've done a Poodle and regretted it because that matting up thing wasn't getting it with sand spurs here in Florida. Nothing wrong with that. And if you decide that you have to rehome your dog because you're moving or something else, please, please, please don't just put an ad in the paper. you can put an ad in the paper, but tell them home inspection required. That way you weed out all the people that are going to put them on a chain in the yard and maybe even use them as a bait dog, which means they have fighting dogs and, oh, I love your poodle and your chihuahua, can I have both? And they take them and guess what they're going to do? Throw them in a pit and let a dog maul them to death. That is a bait dog. So don't just give your pets away for free. Charge a little nominal fee, rehoming fee, 50 bucks even, or at least say home check required in your ad, or let them know on the phone, which means you're going to go to the place where your dog is going to go and you're going to personally drop your dog off. You're not going to just have the person come pick the dog up. You're going to go there and you're going to see the setup and they're going to show you this is where they're going to live, this is where they're going to sleep. And if you go to a rescue, more than likely they're going to do a home check because they want to see where the dog's going. So enough about dogs. I'm going to let this one roll. I got other videos to work on. Bye.